everyone, and welcome to Chat with Nene Alice. If this is your first time tuning in to Chat with Nene Alice, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to send in your comments. Also, viewers, don't forget to hit the bell button because you'll be the first person to know whenever I post any new video. And so, viewers, today is World Women Human Rights Defenders Day. Today is November 29th and it's World Human Rights Defenders Day. And I want to say I stand in solidarity with all women who have survived violence and who are still providing support to other women who have gone through violence. Today, viewers, I have with me Dr. Claudine Hingston, who is here for us to talk about World Women Human Rights Defenders Day and also to talk about the 16 days of activism generally. And 16 days of activism started on the 25th of November and it's going through till the 10th of December. And there are lots of things to talk about which I don't want to begin to talk about until after I have introduced Dr. Claudine Hingston to us. Doctor, you're most welcome to Chat with Nene Alice. Can you say hello to viewers and then introduce yourself?
Hello viewers, I'm Dr. Claudine Hingston and I'm privileged and I feel honored to be on this chat show today.
Thank you. So, Doctor, the first question I want to ask you, what is the importance of 16 days of activism?
Well, I think it is very important because as we all know, we know that violence against women and girls is endemic in society. It is endemic globally. And it has been continued and it has been there even from the time I was born and even up till now. And in fact, it seems to be on the rise, it seems to be on the increase. So 16 days of activism is a call for awareness. Mm-hmm. It is a call for us to be accountable. That we need to create awareness, we need to end violence, we need to minimize it in our society, and we also need to take action ourselves. It has to start from ourselves. Mm-hmm. It's not always enough to talk about things, like in the third person. We need to know that as an individual, what are the things that we can do to eliminate violence against women and girls. So 16 days of activism is very important because, as I said, it is a chance for us to create awareness and for us to be accountable ourselves.
So what is the theme for this year's 16 days of activism?
So the theme for this year's 16 days of activism basically is Orange the World, End Violence Against Women and Girls.
Now,
yeah.
So the theme is End Violence Against Women and Girls now and Orange the World.
Orange the World.
So what does it mean to orange the world?
I do like that because, as you can see, Nene and I, we are in bright colors. I'm sure you are attracted by us,
yes.
Because we are brightening the world. When you talk about orange is symbolism of heat, of energy, of brightness, of, a future where everyone is living in harmony, in peace, living free from fear. So when you talk about orange, we're talking about a bright future for women and girls and for society as a whole.
Okay, Dr. Hingston, both of us have been activists for as long as we can remember.
Yes.
Do you think we have made any difference since Beijing?
I think we've made some difference, probably not very huge because the fact that violence against women and girls is still operative, but I do think we've made, because thinking back, some years back, maybe 30 years ago, there was not much awareness. People were not even talking about it. These are things that were spoken in closed doors, People don't want to talk about it. It was spoken in dark spaces. Mm-hmm. But I think now there's been an awareness where someone can be bold enough to say, I've been abused. It's like, what can I do next? And people are talking. Survivors are talking about it. Victims are talking about it. So I think some impact has been made, but there's still a lot more to be done.
Okay, so I know there are lots of challenges and all of that, but do you have any statistics that can support what we are talking about so that viewers can know the stark reality of what is going on when we talk about violence against women?
Okay, I do have some statistics and it's global statistics. So basically, according to the latest estimate itself, we are saying that nearly 1 in 3 women aged 15 years and older around the world, they have been subjected to physical or sexual violence by either an intimate partner, a non-partner, at least once in their lifetime. And this one is scary because also globally, about 137 women are killed by a member of their family every day. So imagine 137 women being killed on a global scale every day. That is so scary in itself. And when you talk about things like human trafficking, women and girls, they account for 72% of all human trafficking victims globally. So these are some of the scary statistics that show us that violence against women and girls is still a big global epidemic.
I know so many women have overcome violence. Some people are survivors. Some are providing support for other women. And today, particularly, is World Women Human Rights Defenders Day.
Yes.
What is it about this day, and why are we celebrating or commemorating this day?
We are celebrating this day or commemorating this day because this day itself is like we are paying tribute to the women and girls who have worked tirelessly and with courage to defend women's rights. Because we've not left it to the men. A lot of women who have over the years have actually worked tirelessly and with courage to ensure that the rights of women are being defended. And even up till now, the women's rights are still being violated globally and uneven within our Sierra Leone context as well. So this day, I think it is very important that we know that even though some work has been done, but that we still have to continually defend women's human rights.
Yeah, and the theme for this year is talking about reducing inequalities and advancing human rights. So how is it when we talk about inequalities? Because this is what we're talking about, because living in a patriarchal society like this in Sierra Leone, we know that there are lots of inequalities in terms of how we get access to opportunities, how we get access to platforms that can showcase our potential and all of that. So what is your take on that?
I don't think it is a very fitting thing, because even though we say constitutionally we talk about human rights, that there is equal rights for men and women, but I think globally and even within our own space, it's not a reality, because there are inequalities in so many spheres of society, starting from our home, the church, the mosque. I mean, even in religious spaces, in political spaces, everywhere you go, there is some level of inequalities. So I do think we really need to talk about these issues. We need to unpack it. We need to deconstruct it. Let us just not say we just want human rights, but let us talk about these inequalities. What are they? What can we do? And I also like the fact advancing human rights. So it is not just because when you reduce inequalities, you also to some extent advancing human rights of all, including women. So I do think it is a fitting theme in our contemporary society, because there is a lot of inequalities that is operative against women. And as you've rightly said, it is a patriarchal society. And when you talk about patriarchy, it is a society where power is given to men. Men have the patriarchal dividends. Men have the upper hand. And therefore, we are still struggling as women. So I do like the theme, and I think it is a fitting theme that we should all work towards.
Are there other important days within the 16 days that we can let viewers know?
Yes, I think, and as I would like viewers to know that 15 days in itself, it actually starts on the 25th of November, which in itself is the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women. And then today in itself is International Women Human Rights Defenders Day, which is November 29th, which is today. And then there is the World AIDS Day, which is the 1st of December. And then International Volunteers Day for Economic and Social Development, which is on the 5th of December. There's World Disability Day, which is on the 3rd of December. And then the 16 Days of Activism itself is ending on the 10th of December, which is Human Rights Day. And these are very important days, because at the end of the day, these things are all intertwined. There's intersection between all of them, especially in terms of violence against women. Because when you talk about Disability Day, you find out that women with disability, they are they are triple disadvantaged in itself. You see, you talk about human rights, we know that women human rights is still compromised. So there's a lot of, and when you talk about AIDS, World AIDS Day, you find out that women suffering from AIDS or women living with AIDS, they also have their own vulnerabilities, their own disadvantages. So some of these are all fitting days that are in between, the beginning and the end of 16 Days of Activism.
Thank you so much, for giving my viewers lots and lots of information. But in all of what you have said, do you think women will win?
I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful, and I don't want women to win in my own lifetime, because I don't want to. I'm not sure, because I'm sure when I'm dead, I'm gone. But I'm hopeful that I'll live to a ripe old age, and that one day I'll look back and say, yes, we won. So I'm hopeful.
Okay, so in solidarity, let's stand in solidarity.
Yes.
All women, we stand in solidarity with women who have suffered from violence and who have overcome violence and who are protecting and providing support for other women.
I stand in solidarity with you, Nene.
In solidarity.
We win. We
win.
We have hope. Women will win.
Thank you so much. And so viewers, if this is your first time tuning in to Touch with Nene Alice, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to send in your comments. And I wish you all a wonderful 16 days of activism. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nene.
That's all.